Hey guys, I'm Sicko Man. Welcome to Fresh Friday. Today we're going to be going over our week in review, so let's get right into it. So this week we had Firewatch getting its DMCA strikes against PEWDIEPIE following the incident on Twitch. Now, whether or not you disagree with this is entirely up to you. I think it's well within their right. I also think YouTube has a responsibility to understand whether or not they should apply those strikes, but it really comes down to what YouTube decides and what the developers of Firewatch decide. Now, I know they had a bad review kind of protest strike thing going on Steam, which actually sparked an interesting idea that I'm surprised Steam hasn't implemented before. This isn't the first time that something like this has happened, so from now on it's going to be showing a historical tab based on reviews, so you can kind of track when stuff like this happens. I know it's not live quite yet, but they did say they were working on it, and I'm looking forward to that coming into play in the future, just to protect smaller studios that maybe are getting trolled or kind of having a hard time with things like this. I know it's not something that is really quite rare, and kind of actually makes me feel bad. I'm one of those people who does like to go and read reviews and have a tendency, depending on how old the game is, kind of go back and make sure that this is kind of up to date and people aren't just trying to give a bad impression of the game because they've got some vendetta. Moving on, Battleborn development is ending after their fall update. Gearbox did say that this is going to be moving to a smaller dev team within the studio and that no future content is planned at the moment. They did say if they did have anything planned, they would put it up on the forums, but right now it seems that game is kind of just dead. It wasn't a terrible game. I actually played it with my friends quite a bit when it first came out, at least until Overwatch came out and we got that. And I really do think that's the biggest problem for Battleborn, is that it came out at almost the same time as Overwatch. It had a little bit of a head start, but I don't think it was enough to get it in the clear of Overwatch and build a base that wasn't interested in that game already. Now, if they would have came out well before Overwatch, give it like the December before Overwatch came out, I think they could have done a little better. But I really do think it just comes down to the proximity that Battleborn came out and then Overwatch came out, and really Blizzard and Activision were just going to cast this huge shadow over Gearbox and Battleborn itself. Moving on, the SNES Classic lineup was announced, and I'm going to put that up on the screen there for you. It's a great list of games, a lot of classics, and it's actually got Star Fox 2 on it. Now, the caveat for Star Fox 2 is you have to beat the first level of Star Fox, but I feel like everyone's going to be able to do that. Nintendo did also announce they're going to be shipping more units this time around. Hopefully this will kind of sway off the scalper situation we had last time. I'm not going to say that that's going to disappear. People are still going to pick up multiple copies, sell them on eBay, sell them online, sell them on Craigslist. This will give other consumers a little grace period, a little more time to get their own copies of the classic. Now, I do want the classic, but more likely than not, I'm going to break down and just build a pie, because of the fact that while they are shipping more units, I don't really think that I'm going to be able to pick one up. People are just so on their game when it comes to scalping for things like this, and Nintendo has such a bad history of providing what they need. So more likely than not, we're going to run out of units again. It's going to be the same kind of thing, but it might just take a little longer. I hope it doesn't, but the reality of the situation is that's probably what's going to happen. Now, for those of you who play Overwatch, we can move on a little to the big changes we saw in the game this week. We saw the Mercy rework come out along with the D.Va buff. D.Va's actually looking to be getting another change. I know a lot of people in the community are aiming for D.Va to have a kind of option that Soldier does, where it's hold to boost, kind of like Soldier's hold to run instead of just boosting. I know people were having problems canceling their boost now since the switch where you can shoot while you boost. A lot of people, that was their go-to to end their boost, and they just popped up in front of people, shooting them in the face, really, blasting those cannons. Now, I look forward to this. I play a lot of Overwatch. It would be nice. I think it would be great to have something like that, and I also know that we got a little bit of the hint that the next hero should be coming out most likely before the end of the year. I'm calling around Junkenstein, or whenever we do the Halloween event again this year, just because it seems like it would line up with that. It might just go on the PTR at that time, but it would be nice to have it live and ready, so maybe get it out October 1st, so by the time that event drops we can have that new hero. Jeff Kaplan did happen to say that this hero was very playable already, and it sounded like it was almost ready to go live on the PTR, so maybe we'll be seeing it sooner than later. I would love to see it sooner than later. I honestly think the quicker they get that hero out and get it play tested amongst the general community, the better time they'll have with it, and also we can probably hope that they can work on the next hero even more. I know they're aiming for a little bit more of a gap between how they release their heroes, but it's been a while since Doomfist, and they have been following this kind of every 3-month cycle, if that makes sense, or every quarter cycle. So I'm really just hoping we can get that new hero sooner than later, just because it would be nice to add that to the game. I know we just got pretty much a brand new hero with the Mercy rework, but it's still Mercy. She still has a res, even though you can't do those full team reses anymore. Moving on, a little joke this week. I don't know if any of you guys follow Battlefield on Twitter, but it did look like the actual Battlefield account was trolling people who were tweeting a DICE dev, and I kind of noticed it and tweeted at the dev, are they trolling? And he gave a very sarcastic answer, tweeting back to me, I don't know, I hope not. What do you mean? Question mark, smiley face. It was kind of just a fun thing to see. I know a lot of these corporate Twitter accounts are pulling on that style. You see Wendy's tweeting out Arby's and other places a lot. Even clapping back that one time, how does it feel to have 0 RTs and 0 likes in 17 hours? Honestly, I gotta say Wendy's probably runs the game on these clapbacks on Twitter and these burns. It was kind of cool to see this game's Twitter profile going at it. I know a couple of games have probably done it in the past, but it's not something that's really showed up on my timeline. It was cool how interactive they were with the people that were tweeting this dev and just kind of running the game from. And it wasn't so much that they were responding to the questions that were being asked. It was that they would really just quote the dev's response to these questions with that person's question. So I don't know if they were really just trying to get people to come ask the Battlefield Twitter account and get people off this dev's back, but either way, it was a pretty funny thing to watch. And last but not least, we have the PUBG Fortnite incident that I woke up to, actually. I didn't even put that in my notes for today. I wake up, open Twitter, see what's going on, and it looks like PUBG may be looking to take legal action against Fortnite. There is a lot of similarities, I guess, seen between the Fortnite Battle Royale and PUBG's gameplay style. The PUBG devs did say they worked a lot with Epic Games, seeing as they made the Unreal Engine, and the fact that PUBG is within the Unreal Engine. That's the license they used for this game. I kind of like to see other games putting these Battle Royale styles out, and PUBG is not the first game to do it. For Epic Games to go and pretty much steal this style when you know the studio came for you to help, and they were using your engine, and you took advantage of the kind of confidence they gave you, is really not cool. Now, I would like to see how Fortnite shows up in the long run. I know it's supposed to go free to play by next year. I'd like them to have their own Battle Royale style. I would like PUBG to come over to console. It would be cool to get a console version. I don't know how long it'll be if PS4 even gets it, but I do know it is coming to Xbox One. That's up to them. Xbox One isn't really the superior system. The Xbox One X is, but that's a whole different topic of conversation. Anyway, I hope they can figure this out without having to completely sue Epic Games. It would be nice if they can settle this civilly outside of the courtrooms. It would be nice if Epic Games could give a better twist on the Battle Royale style. If they could maybe just revamp what they're doing and make sure that they don't kind of insult PUBG with this. We are talking about a pretty big studio that really did take someone under their wing and guide them and then abuse that. Is that a fucking bird? I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it sounds like there's a bird outside my window trying to die. Sorry for the interruption. But yeah, getting back to Epic Games and PUBG, I really do hope that this doesn't turn into just a kind of troll suit either. I haven't really seen what Epic Games was providing in sense of gameplay footage of this new Battle Royale mode, but if they are just copy and pasting PUBG just to put it on console and beat them there, it's kind of a shit move. Everyone should have their own Battle Royale twist. Given in the long run, you're going to get a lot of replicants, but I don't think it'll be something that'll be too prevalent for a while. Just as long as the development community, they put their own spin on things and try to keep it within their bounds. That's not saying people can't go out and try stuff. It's more take your style of game and what you normally do and apply that to the Battle Royale style. I think a lot about Overwatch free-for-all, and if they made something PUBG style, just the fact that you have the Overwatch characters would completely change the game and put your own twist on it. So hopefully there will be enough differentiation with the characters that Epic Games provides for Fortnite and the simplicity of characters that PUBG has, just based on the fact that you're supposed to be this naked character. Anyways, that's Fresh Friday. I'm your host, Sicko Man. Remember, keep it fresh, keep it short, keep it sweet. Please remember to like the video. It really helps me out. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this and get alerts when I post them. You can follow me on Twitch at Sicko_man. I stream Destiny and Overwatch primarily. You can also follow me on Twitter at Sicko_man and just watch me make a fool of myself through 140 characters. Once again, thanks for watching. Keep it fresh, keep it short, keep it sweet. Sicko out.